They all float down here, Mr. Bean. They all float. Monsters, gremlins, and spooky ghouls thereupon. This is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to this patron-produced episode of the show. My name is Oodles, and I am known for luring young men into my bedroom and forcing them to watch The Exorcist 2. Joining me today, here's Biggie.
Hey, good evening.
Hello. The man that leaked the T-virus onto the world, it's Gadget.
And I'd do it again, I tell you. Again!
And welcome to the family, son. It's Papa Baker himself. It's Stig.
Hello.
Candy, unfortunately, won't be joining us today as we have sacrificed her to the god of flesh and pleasure, Leviathan.
She's a slacker.
She's an absolute slacker. But before we get into the show, please consider becoming one of our sexy and incredibly cool patrons to help us divide and conquer the podcasting world. Details are in our show notes, but mainly check out our website, modernescapism.co.uk, for more exquisite content and links to everything we do. Oh, do you know what I need? I'm gagging.
What do you need?
I'm gagging.
What do you
I
need?
need some Biggie's breaking news. I need it.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
I need a poo.
Wow.
Well, you can't get much more breaking news than that.
Hot off the presses.
So starting off, Sony have revealed the DualSense Edge wireless controller for the PS5, and it will launch globally in January next year. And that will only set you back a measly £130.
Is that all?
No.
It's 210, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 210.
He's just added prices on himself. If you want to submit £230 or whatever to his PayPal, he'll get you one.
I mean, £130
That might have been just the deposit.
Yeah. £130 is probably right, because that's around, roughly what you'd pay for an Elite, an Xbox Elite controller, so that wouldn't be too bad, but 210 is...
It's ridiculous.
It's nice. The extra buttons and stuff and all the extra things, and it looks nice. Now, I've got an Elite controller. I've got an Elite 2, and it's miles nicer feel than the normal Xbox pad.
Yeah, but
you getting one?
Oh, I'm a fuck. I've got an... I
It's
barely
alright,
play my PlayStation 5 as it is.
Biggie will win one in a competition on Twitter.
Of course he will.
If
What
only.
can do.
Yeah.
I saw Biggie. Actually, I saw him replying to a few competitions today. on
Comping it
Twitter.
up this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm trying so hard to get a code for FM 23 at the moment.
The man loves it. He loves it.
Got to try your luck, ain't you? It does happen. It does work.
Next.
Speaking of Sony, they've done it again. Red Dead Redemption Original #1 is now no longer available to stream on PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now, after 6 years after its debut on the service in 2016. The only current modern way to play it will now be officially on Xbox Series and Xbox One consoles and third-party emulators for the PC.
Fascinating that this has made the news.
Enhanced editions. Well, I think it's just a sad state of affairs because
It's fucking ancient.
but they have.
Just play the second one. It's better.
But there are people that do want to play it. It just shows you that the problem with going digital is that things like this happen. That the game's
What to say?
gone.
Yeah, this is what we all signed up for. But if you're really that desperate to play it, just pirate it. If there's no other way, in my words, this is the developers saying we don't care anymore. Do what you want.
They don't. Sony never really have they?
I don't think it's a developer issue. I think it's definitely a Sony issue because it's still available on the Xbox. He's all buy it on the Xbox.
He's probably not
store.
seeing many downloads. That's why. They've probably got graphs to tell them like one person's played this game this month, so we just bin it. Yeah,
It's still on my my Xbox as downloaded and ready to play at some point.
Yeah, I have it.
I bought it years ago when the 360 was kind of like right at the end of its life cycle, and then a massive sale of stuff. I was like, £4 for Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, okay then.
I own it on Xbox. I don't even own an Xbox.
Haven't played it.
I've got the Undead Nightmare one as well, which is fantastic.
I will play it at some point. I do want to play it because I love the
Have you never
second
played it?
No.
Oh, right.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Really is good.
It's just like a poorer version of the second one.
It's a progenitor to the second one.
Well, I like to see it in a different sense. It's poorer.
This is because you don't ever scroll up, is it? You never go back to the original.
Never scroll up. I always stick with the current model.
Which also indicates that there's probably there's no likely to be a remake or remaster of it at this point.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Rumored.
I'd rather them use the resources to do the other games. I'm sick of this. I'm not sick of remasters. I mean, just things that I feel like this is all in my head, kind of. They don't seem that old, but then again, when you think they are fucking really old now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, what was Red Dead
probably
Redemption?
Considered retro.
Was Red Dead Redemption like 2009 or something like that?
2007, 2008.
It was definitely after 2008, but yeah, it was like it's 14, 15 years old now.
Yeah, maybe it does need a remake then. It's pretty fucking old. Kids haven't played this game yet, and they deserve it.
So you changed your mind now?
Yeah, mate, I'm known to do it.
He's easily swung.
I'm terrible in
Breaking
court.
news, guys. There we are. It's happened. Oodles has changed his mind.
Again.
Man of transparent
Oodles.
Convictions.
I know.
Absolutely. I've got
Make
no
a U-turn on
convictions.
something. I'm shocked.
I don't care enough. That's the problem.
You could lead the Tory party with U-turns like that.
I was wondering who would go there. It was there on the tip of my tongue. I was like, should I?
Gadget, this is the first on-show yellow card I'm issuing. I take it well.
I go,
Put this
why
in
am
your
I
pocket.
the shit that comes out of Biggie's mouth week on week, you never give him a yellow card.
Well,
You give me
No,
one
it's
for
never
comparing
political.
it to
Yeah,
the
but he
Tory
never
party.
Never
mentions
political.
he never mentions politics, does he?
Yeah, true.
yeah, it's official. You've got the first yellow ever after 100 and odd episodes. You've done it. You're the man.
Who'd have thought?
The most
Who'd have
northern man. Who would have expected it?
Although Gadget does edit the show, so you can turn it into that you've given him cake.
Yeah, you could. Put that in your pocket. Next.
The horror franchises have had quite a big reveal this week with Resident Evil and Silent Hill have both had big news. Does anyone want to pick this up?
Is that because you haven't written it down?
Yep.
This just got added last minute, but
Because it was some of the biggest news of the week. So Silent Hill had a showcase where they announced
So funny.
they showed the reveal
I
of
haven't had a chance to do it this week.
It's so busy.
they showed the first footage of the Bloober Team's remake of Silent Hill 2. They showed some weird kind of shared universe, watch it live kind of Silent Hill interactive game thing.
That's quite interesting, actually, because you get one attempt at it.
Yeah.
Which I think's fantastic.
I
What a good idea.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of having a schedule to play a game with 10,000 other people, but fine.
Why not?
And then the one that interested me the most, which was a new original game called Silent Hill F, which
Yes,
looks
that's
to
the
be
one
very
I'm-
feudal Japan-y, and I'm very,
Do you
very...
Yeah,
reckon
like
the
this.
F's something to do with like a camera? Because a small F is on some
Yeah.
cameras, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's the shutter speed, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you reckon it's something to do with that? I love like a Project Zero style Silent Hill.
Oh, that would
Oh,
be good.
that'd be pretty cool.
But yeah, just I mean that the trailer for Silent Hill F didn't really tell us anything apart from kind of the location. But my God, was it effective in doing what it set out to do?
Yeah, that's what's got me excited out of all of it.
I am not excited in the slightest anymore for the Silent Hill 2 remake because
Nope.
it's Bloober Team, and I'm still pissed off about them for the medium. But also
They'll take the combat out.
which is just watching it, like it just didn't look like Silent Hill 2. If
Exactly.
that makes sense, like James
Lost its spirit, didn't it?
Yeah, James
Pun
Sunderland
intended.
looked weird. Like he looked very uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Like they haven't put enough money into animating him.
He looked like he was like sucking lemons half the time.
did, yeah.
I
His face
agree.
was all like,
Yeah.
I agree. I've got
It's really
no faith
weird
in
looking
Bloober
for-
Team.
I'm definitely going to play the original first, and I might pick up this. I might play it someday.
If
down
you're gonna
the line.
play
I'm
the
not
original-
I'm not going to pay like £60 for it.
Play the Xbox version on your Steam Deck, not the remastered versions.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
don't touch
They're
them.
sh-
I got
they're
the
shocking.
PS2 version.
Oh, that'll do. That'll
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
The more I think about it as well, is like I don't think Silent Hill 2 really needs a remake because I think as a game it's pretty perfect.
Yes, it is.
I
It's
think
just a this is popular. This is the most popular one.
Yeah,
People will buy it.
Option. If I were in Konami's shoes, which I couldn't do
first one.
I couldn't do a worse job. Do the first one, because the first one has aged really badly. It's far too crunchy to play by modern standards.
Doing it that way, they can start a new series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of remakes like Resident Evil did.
Yes. And then, well, speaking of them, there's Resident Evil, which is... I was on the fence about the Resident Evil 4 remake. I really was, because I like Resident Evil 4. But it's also, I didn't think, does it need a remake? I know we had bits and pieces of stuff in the past, but then they showed that trailer, and my God, I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Oh yeah,
it looks fucking incredible.
Yep. A few people in the industry have had their hands on of it, and they're all saying, "Yeah, you can still roundhouse kick people." So I'm in.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm in.
And one thing I hope they've done is made Ashley less annoying. Less of her screaming, "Leon!" Yeah.
I mean, as those kind of people in distress characters, she's not the worst because you can chuck her in the bin, can't you?
True. Yeah.
That's not a joke. You can chuck her in the bin.
I know you can. Yeah,
you can.
What else?
I quite like the look of the. Sorry, not the look, because they didn't really reveal a lot. But that Silent Hill cliff top is a bit intriguing.
Yeah.
There was lots of teaser trailers.
There's a hidden message. There's a hidden message in that voice chat on the walkie-talkie. Apparently, people are trying to work it all out.
I'll wait while the internet solves it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, the Resident Evil one as well. They had the release date for the Village DLC, which is tomorrow. If you listen to this on the day it comes out,
which I've bought.
Plus, you can do the third person mode, and there's a demo, and then there's the cloud version of it for the Switch. Does anyone play the cloud versions of things on Switch?
I tried that demo today of the Switch version. Do you know what? It's surprisingly shit. It's terrible.
Not surprising at all.
I know. I was trying to bait and switch, but yeah, it's just terrible. It's my internet's not even terrible when it's working. It's just chug.
Yeah. So I don't think there was anything else on top of that, was there? The Resident Evil one. They didn't reveal any new games.
Remember. No.
I think
thankfully.
I think that isn't Reverse that's starting.
Reverse is finally coming.
Yeah, it's like a year and a half later than it should have.
Yeah, it's completely changed how it looks as well.
Yeah, it looks good now. It didn't before.
It does look good. It does look good.
There's no next Resident Evil 9 cheat tease or anything, was there? So
no.
It looks like it's going to get 4 out of the way, and then we'll get that. I did like the way they did it though, where you kind of went into the
Duke's manor.
Into like a big library and the Duke was just like, "Oh, I've got all these things to show you.
Yeah.
Come over here."
Yeah. And I'm very happy that the Duke's returning in the DLC, the Winters DLC, because he was the best character in 8.
I want to see the ending to the Winters as saga now, because this is the finale of the Winters, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm quite tempted to get the DLC.
I'm absolutely.
I've already paid for it.
Yeah.
Next,
another company that's been doing a bit of a reveal is Square Enix have trademarked symbiogenesis in Japan. And apparently, according to a Wiktionary, is the merging of 2 separate organisms to form a single new organism. And people are believing it might be having something to do with the story of Parasite Eve.
Or it'll be completely different. Something completely different. And people are just looking into things too much. Because Parasite Eve didn't sell.
Yeah, but it has become a cult favorite over the years.
It has, yeah, and I do like them both. Eve, a lot of people don't like 2, but I still do. I think they're good games. First one's way better though.
A developer, surgeon simulator maker Bossa has claimed that many studios are asking Xbox to drop mandatory Series S compatibility because they feel that the console is holding back new gen games.
I don't think Microsoft will break that promise, will they?
Of course they won't.
No. They're not going to do that. They're the darlings of the gaming industry at the moment. They are not going to break that promise. They're just going to say, knuckle down, do it.
Because a lot of PS4 versions of games are being dropped now, aren't they?
Yes.
So I'm
that's Sony. They are the bad guys of the gaming industry.
No, they are, but I see what they're trying to push. I think
Microsoft will not back down on
Gotham
that.
Knights
not in a million years.
Didn't
Yeah, Gotham Knights dropped it ages ago, but that's down to Warner Brothers being terrible at making games.
and financial commitments.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not.
Surely there won't be any more about that.
Definitely not.
They're not going to drop that. What they might do is they might improve xCloud to a point where you have some of the game is running on the Series S, some of it's running via xCloud.
Yes,
or something like that.
Like they did mention, that's not even a lie to, because they did mention that's what they were aiming for anyway, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like a hybrid console.
It's not a surprise. So people will still moan, but it's not like you didn't know it were coming.
Plus the Series S is still more powerful than a PS4, and a lot of games are still being made for a PS4.
Absolutely, yeah. Good little machine.
I think what they'll probably do as well with the Series S is probably stop pushing for the 1440p. They'll probably just keep it, start aiming games just for 1080p.
Yeah, it makes sense, but they're not going to back down on that, not in a million. They'll just say, well, you're not developing for our consoles then. That's what they'll say.
Yeah.
Next.
In the world of film, Harrison Ford has now been confirmed to play General Ross in the Marvel Universe.
Interesting, this.
He would be hopefully appearing in Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts, assuming he's not dead by the time they're made.
Fucking good old mustache.
He's just making. But that, I mean, that's one of the things that I'm surprised that they've hired an 80-year-old actor to do this, because it seems like a part that they want to push forward with. And also, I thought he said he was done with the big blockbuster films, and also
he's not done with the money though.
I just can't see him in a kind of fun Marvel role. Like,
Thunderbolt Ross is not fun.
but the whole kind of MCU.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. I know he's not fun. I know what he is, and
I know what's happened.
Can you see him as a Hulk? Doesn't
no, because that's what it becomes.
Exactly. It's all a bit weird, really.
They're going to pay him in weed, and he's going to turn up, big sacks of weed, and he's going to be happy.
He's just a grump, isn't he? It's
just a grump, which is perfect for a Hulk if you think about it.
I'd have kind of liked him to use Sam Elliott again, because he used him in Hulk. He was in Ang Lee's Hulk, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
I think he'd have been a better option to bring back.
Yeah, that mustache would be too distracting to have on screen. You couldn't have that.
Yeah, but Thunderbolt Ross does have a big mustache.
What a mustache, though.
The Red Hulk has a mustache.
I was going to say, imagine that on a Red Hulk, that mustache.
The Red Hulk does have a mustache on some of them. I mean, sometimes the Hulk has a beard, but let's not get into that.
Sam Elliott's voice coming out of a Hulk. Actually, I'd pay to see that. That would be incredible.
I would.
That low, slow drawl that he does.
I bet the MCU studios, I bet they're good that they've already used Josh Brolin, because he'd have been a perfect Thunderbolt Ross. But like, fuck, we've already used one of the best ones. Could bring him back.
Well, how old was William Hurt when he passed away? 71 years old. So, yeah, I guess maybe the timeline-wise, it kind of works for the age of the character.
Yeah, it does. So, it's just that sheer...
I just don't see it at all. I don't see Harrison Ford.
Ambivalence from Harrison Ford. I'm surprised he's even doing the Indiana Jones thing. He doesn't seem like he wants to be a working man anymore.
Because he's 80 and he wants to sit and be stoned all day.
Yeah, exactly.
But surely Thunderbolt Ross has to be a bit of a nasty bastard. I can't see.
Yeah.
I just don't see. Well, maybe.
The Red Hulk is the more nasty Hulk, so.
Yeah. Wait and see.
There'll probably be a big face-off with the Hulk, and then he just pulls out a gun and shoots him with some gamma bullet in the fight straight away.
Spoil it for everyone. Bloody hell.
Next up, shut up. Matt Reeves is meeting right now with writers and directors for the Batman spin-off movies and TV shows, apparently focusing on Batman's Rogues Gallery. Various projects may include Scarecrow, Clayface, to Professor Pig, are in early stages of gestation.
Not really interested in it at all.
No.
I like the Batman as its own thing. I like the Penguin. I can see why they did the Penguin spin-off, because there's a nice story there to be told, kind of his rise in the underworld of Gotham. But am I interested in all these Z-list Batman villains?
Calendar Man.
Yeah, like Scarecrow. Maybe you could do something good with Scarecrow, but
Calendar Man would work well with a neo-noir detective, that sort of thing.
Mate,
I think that'd be
don't
quite good.
try and defend Calendar Man as a character, please. Terrible.
Too many of the Batman baddies are far too one note, and the likes of the Joker has been done far too many times.
Yeah,
I agree.
I like this being grounded.
Yeah.
Not
Yes,
bringing
I do.
Clearface and stuff into it.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a new Superman movie with Henry Cavill in the works.
Cavill. Up for it.
Yes.
Just keep Zack Snyder away from Superman.
I mean, if you've been on the internet in the past week, you've seen Henry Cavill all over the shop.
Yeah, it's really annoying, isn't it? Really.
Yes. Well, didn't even realise what I was watching until I watched it.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't want Zack Snyder, and I just don't think he understands Superman at all. At all.
No.
No, he
He
definitely
makes films
doesn't.
that look stunning. I can't get away from that. The man can make a film look amazing, but character development nah.
Or, Superman punching through buildings with people in them.
Killing millions of people.
No,
Exactly what Superman would do.
None of them.
Or Kevin
None of
Costner.
them. None of the directors of Superman anymore. They do that good juxtaposition between the fact that he's an alien and a human all in one, and he has to battle with those two different aspects of his life. He's a god and human, and none of them have touched on that. It's just like, why did you say that name? Fuck off. You know what I mean? It's fucking crap.
Can't beat the original.
You can't, mate.
From that ending. Yikes.
And Warner Brothers have done it again. Apparently, they are releasing The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, in its entirety as a set of NFTs.
They know what they're doing, that company, don't they?
Just, what are they doing?
Told you, since Bugs
This will
Bunny died,
apparently
they've just
kick
been
off
on their ass.
I did see a
The
great
Warner
tweet on
Brothers
this.
movieverse.
Someone was just like, me paying thousands of dollars for an NFT, only for a Lord of the Rings NFT, only to discover it's just a blur of someone running across the screen.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Or it's because I think it's every frame from the film, isn't it? So it would be like one of the
Yep.
fade to black transitions. You just get the black bit
Oh,
before it
you'd be
fades back up.
You'd be good if your NFT was the hobbits dancing together, just hugging, like, yes! The shit scenes.
oh, it's like,
Oh.
it's like an NFT of Sam's wife. The character's barely in it.
She's bringing the beer. You'd be fucking fuming. What the
Well,
Balrog?
you'd be happy if you got the ending of the Lord of the Rings trilogy when you have the extended end sequences. My God, that went on for an hour, I think.
Let's not slag off a perfect trilogy, though, please. Not in my presence.
No, just let Warner Brothers just mine it for as much
Ruin
money
it.
as they can. Selling
You
it
know what
frame by
happens if
frame.
you dig too deep? If you dig too deep.
I was going to say this there. Hopefully Balrog will come out and take them down.
I'm
Yes.
I'm honestly amazed that the Tolkien estate hasn't kicked the fuck off about this. I know
why they haven't, because I don't know what NFTs are. Neither do I.
I know Warner Brothers own the rights to the films.
Yeah.
But yeah, given how litigious the Tolkien estate is, I'm surprised they haven't got.
You'd expect them to.
No.
Yeah.
Unless they're getting some
You
kind
think-
of weird kickback from it.
The thing is, if this becomes like popular with the digital generation, they're going to start doing Harry Potter. They're going to start doing Batman. They're going to start doing everything, and it's just going to be like, fuck it. What is this world coming to?
We did say this will kick off the Warner Brothers movieverse, which will release various films and NFTs.
Mm.
And I think actually the Harry Potter ones will be hilarious because from when I remember seeing the Harry Potter films, there are some weird bits where there's some really shonky CGI in it. So imagine
I
if
hope
you
we get them ones.
Yeah, imagine if you buy the NFT and it's just like some weird stretched version of Harry in the middle of a Quidditch match because it's like the interframe between him moving around.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck Warner Brothers, mate. Fucking retire.
I mean, those last
Shoot 'em.
4 news stories were all Warner Brothers things doing fucking bullshit.
Whoever's in charge of that team now, fucking hell. They haven't got a clue. Fucking idiots, man. Let me run it. I'll show you what to do.
Crypto Kenny.
No, I'm done with that. He's retired. He didn't understand the world he was in. He's gone.
Just like real life Kenny.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was doing. He cried himself to sleep at night and sold all his assets. For pittance. Next.
Stiggy's choice of movie, Boiling Point, is now being made into a TV series starring Stephen Graham from the original movie. It's coming
that's
to the
bang on.
BBC.
That's news we want to hear.
Yeah. It's going
movie.
to follow one of the other chefs in that, but
Yes.
Stephen Graham is going to appear in it. I don't know whether it's going to be all in one shot. I presume it is going to be, because that's one of the kind of good things about that film. The gimmicks, yeah, and it works, and it ramps up the stress level. So to get rid of that would kind of take away
Do you reckon,
from it. So
not to spoil Boiling Point, because I think everyone should go see it. It's a fantastic film. Do you reckon it's going to be set before the film, because of scenes in the film means that you can't really have a sequel to that film? Because there's a lot of backstory in that film that you don't know.
You could do. I think I know what they could do with it. So no, I think it's going to be after.
Such a good film. Get it watched, please. Next.
In the music world, it's referenced in one of the other pods that the When We Were Young festival was imminent. But unfortunately, the first day has now had to be cancelled due to adverse weather conditions, and all tickets can be refunded.
What the fuck does that mean?
Where you purchased them from.
So basically,
raining or something?
No, like real ridiculous super winds in Vegas. So this big, huge, like big emo festival, the first night, which was the first Saturday night, just
I was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I remember when this first came out, everyone's going, "Oh, people are going to get ripped off. It's not going to happen, and this will happen, that happen." And I saw it trending, and I thought, "Oh fuck, something's happened." But no, it just turned out that the weather was just horrendous in Vegas. So this was one that we were going to go to, and I had Saturday tickets in my basket before other things happened. I was like, right, I can't go. So my friend who I was going to meet there, he's got Sunday tickets. So I've been messaging him today. He said, luckily, it looks all right today. But that, if I'd have gone, that would have been the day we were going to go on.
So what happens if, like, you've spent £2,000 on plane tickets and it gets cancelled?
You should have a weekend in Vegas.
I was going to say, there are other things to do in Las Vegas.
Surely there's some kind of lawsuit you can attach to that saying, look, I didn't get my
act of God, isn't it?
Act of God. Oh.
Force majeure. You can't do anything about that. They'll just...
I bet they're all outside singing Welcome to the Black Parade right now, crying.
Well, the thing is...
Not as a DJ, not an emo.
Some of the bands actually went and found small venues that were free in Vegas and put on shows.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's how you do it.
So they were like, yeah, but some bands were just like, right, come see us here and we'll... I think, though, what I didn't like was I did see that they were charging, and it wasn't like, if you had a ticket for today, you can come. Because I don't know how... Because you wouldn't be able to control that, would you?
Most, what they call elder emos, are in middle management nowadays anyway. They can afford it.
So, yeah, it's a shame, really. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't go, because after my holiday debacle in the summer, if that had happened, I think I'd have had a breakdown.
Yeah, man. This we're not going on holiday ever again.
Yeah.
Holidays are cancelled. Christmas is cancelled too, just in case.
Yeah. So it's a shame, really, because it
is a shame.
Banging if you... Well, I really like that music.
It's just a shame in general when thousands of people have gone to something and it has to, what inverted commas, act of God, which that's just bad meteorology in my opinion.
That's a great get out for loads of companies whether...
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah. Insurance tickets and stuff. Act of God. God did that, but I'm an atheist. God, our God did it, not your God.
It's almost like doing things in a dust bowl pan of the desert is a bad idea.
Wow, who'd have thunk it? Biggie, are you ready for the next topic or the next story?
There isn't,
sir. Weird jump in the background.
That's it, sir. That's all of it.
Okay, excellent. Let's move on to the Nexus then. I'm going to start because I've not really done anything this week. I've been busy again. I would like to review Starbucks Peach Iced Tea, as it's stunningly refreshing, light and perky, but that's not going to count. I have actually watched a new sponsor, Starbucks Iced Tea. I'm actually drinking. I only said that because I'm drinking it right now. There's no other reason. It just came to my head. I did watch a film last night, luckily. So I can talk about this. It's not a new film. It probably has been mentioned on this show before. I watched Roald Dahl's The Witches, the Witches remake.
Oh, the new one.
Yes.
I don't think we have mentioned it, have we? Well, we might.
Have we not? Oh, right then. On Prime. I watched it with the kids. We have Saturday movie nights now. It's religion. And as I was watching this, I mean, it stars Anne Hathaway, Octavia Spencer, Stanley Tucci. They're three big hitters already. as I was watching this, I was looking on IMDb. Overwhelmingly trashed, this film. Overwhelmingly trashed.
Didn't get good reviews when it came out.
Because
you know what?
rubbish.
No, I think it's better than the first one.
No, it's not.
I genuinely think it's mint. I think it's really good. Everything about it. Me and my kids and that, we've seen the original one before and we watched this one knowing what it was. And I like it more. I don't know why. It's hard to explain. The story beats are almost identical. The witches are scarier. They've got weird fingers and
I don't find them scarier at all.
Oh, we did. We were like, ah!
The originals are horrific. Like when Angelica Houston takes off her face and
she's better than Anne Hathaway. I'm not denying that. I'm not an idiot.
Like
she's
the
way
original
better.
witches were awful, and also like, in the original they had like loads of men dressed up in them, so they all looked
as women,
bigger and
Yeah,
bulkier and like awful. Yeah,
I'm not denying that. I mean, the CGI in this is a bit ropey, but I don't know. Octavia Spencer saved the show for me. She's fantastic in this as the Gran. And the kids, when they get turned into, spoiler alerts, when they get turned into mice, that's really funny. I don't know, we really enjoyed it. And it was getting like 3 out of 10s and stuff. I'm like, what's wrong with people? They just need to live a little. This nostalgia porn that they're all chomping on. This is not a bad film at all. It's just a rehash, a remake. It's beat for beat, almost the same, just newer and contemporary. I think it was really good. And I will be that hipster to say that. I am proud of it. I think it's good. I think you all should watch Roald Dahl's The Witches on Amazon Prime.
I didn't particularly like the book when I was a kid, so no.
The original's on Prime as well. Watch that instead.
Watch them both. And you'll be the judge.
I mean, the original's not even that great.
It's not, is it? This is what I was saying.
It's just more horrific.
Saved by Rowan Atkinson, isn't it? I think the original one. He's good in it.
And Houston.
Yeah, Angelica Houston's really good in that. But yeah, that's all I've been doing. Sorry, it's not much, but busy man. Biggie, what you been doing?
I've been as busy as you, mate.
All right then. Next.
But what I have seen is the final episode of Lord of the Rings on Prime.
Oh, it's all right. You can just listen to our spoiler cast.
I reckon we should do a spoiler. Yeah, I was desperate to try and get on that, but I just couldn't get time to watch the last episode. But my own opinion is it's absolutely stunning. What a show.
Which is completely opposite to what we said. We hated it.
Yeah, we spent 2 hours absolutely dragging it.
Hating it. We like The Hobbit better.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
What a good job they've done there, eh?
Yeah, no, it was
absolutely smashed
show.
it, didn't they? The fucking knocked it out of the park.
Did
you do anything else?
So good. No, that's it. We're still watching Game of Thrones.
Do you want me to fill some time out?
4 at the minute. So.
Absolutely. You will be filling some time out, boy. Don't worry.
Usually we only do one thing, but I could do 2 things. One thing that I loved and one thing that I could sit back. Because
do it, mate. I'm ready for some Stig action.
Right, let's go with the bad thing first.
Yes.
All right, let's strap the veggies.
Strap it. I'm still listening. I'm walking away, but I'm still listening. Don't worry.
Right. I watched Halloween Ends this week.
Oh, yeah. I'm desperate to hear what you think of this.
My God, this was awful. So bad. And, we were warned. I was warned. It was one of those ones where people said, it's terrible. It's doing weird things. What are they doing? I don't know what they're doing. I'm not going to spoil this, but I have no fucking clue what the hell they were going for with this film. Because...
Spoil it, we don't care.
It's not... I just can't figure out why. Why? Like, I kind of liked the reboot Halloween in 2018.
That the Rob Zombie
It wasn't
one.
Great. No, this is... this kind of reboot trilogy, which follows on
the first
Jamie
one.
Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode from the first film.
Right.
So you have the 70s Halloween, and then everything else is kind of being retconned. And then we had the return of Halloween in 2018, which was back to their story. She's no longer Michael's sister. She's just one of his victims. She's been living her life in fear of him returning one day, and also training herself up to fight and to trap him and everything. So that's where we kind of go
like
with
Linda
that film.
Hamilton in Terminator.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what she's done. She knows that one day
Biggie, what are you sorry, Stig. Biggie, what are you doing?
Lighting a candle.
You been farting in your room or something?
know.
God, if you're just an audio listener to this podcast, you're missing out on gold.
I've been kind of watching Biggie for the past 5 minutes, constantly turning to his right, pick up a pot with a toothbrush in, of all things. And
Yeah.
Sorry, Stig. Continue.
It's my pot of many things.
I just don't know what he's doing.
He's fucking. Can you concentrate, Biggie, please, for 1 minute?
I'm concentrating. I'm listening to him talk about Halloween Ends.
So Halloween. So that ends. That's kind of where we end with Halloween, and then we got Halloween Kills, which is after we thought Michael was dead. He's not dead, and he comes back and he kills like nearly everyone in Haddonfield, and he ends up being the Terminator. And I really didn't like that. I just thought this is stupid. He's, if you remember me talking about it, it was like he's gone from killing one or two.
You said it just went full slasher, didn't it?
Yeah, to just killing everyone. By the time I'd finished watching Halloween Ends, I wanted that Michael back. I wanted the Michael who just could take all the punishment in the world and kill everything that walked in his path.
Don't tell me they gave him a heart in this.
This one takes place. No, they gave him a. This is going to be a big spoiler.
Hang on, wait. I'll put the spoiler klaxon up. If you don't want Halloween Ends spoiled for you, skip ahead to 42 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, Stig, go for it, because I know what you're about to say, and Oodles is going to lose his fucking shit.
It gave him a protege.
Fuck off! He's got an apprentice.
Yeah. We have an apprentice, Michael Myers, in this film.
Oh my god, that's so fucking stupid.
Don't knock apprenticeships because they do lead to full employment.
Not in this film, they don't.
That is fucking stupid.
Basically, starts with this young boy who ends up killing the boy he's babysitting by mistake. When the boy plays a prank on him, he ends up killing him by mistake, and because of that, he kind of gets ostracized by the town, and he kind of becomes a bit of a recluse and turns, a bit of a oddball. Until he meets Laurie Strode's granddaughter, and they all of a sudden seem to fall for each other, so much so that she's kind of willing to run away with him after knowing him for like 5 minutes. And within all this, these town bullies throw him over the bridge and under an underpass, and he gets dragged into this underpass by Michael Myers, who picks him up and sees something in his eye. And like he looks,
all good murderers know of us,
into the eye of this boy and thinks, "Oh, like this guy is like me." And then from that, it builds up and builds up. And honestly, for about an hour of this film, nothing fucking happens. It's a teen fucking drama.
Does he pat him on back?
Even longer, actually. It might be like I think it's like a 2-hour film, and it's like an hour and a half. Like nothing seems to happen, and all of a sudden, right at the end, he just goes on a murderous rampage. And we genuinely get about 5 minutes of Michael Myers in this film.
So is it called Halloween Ends because the franchise is fucking dead?
I hope so. I hope so.
That's fucking shocking, man.
It was
he gets a little apprentice.
Terrible.
He's not fucking Sith Lord.
Yeah. The only thing that I kind of did like was they showed Michael's getting older. He's been on the run. He's been living on the streets and hiding out in like sewer pipes. He's fucked. Like he's ill and he's fucked. Like he's a normal human being. He's not a Jason type character who is supernatural. So he isn't as strong as he used to be. He is vulnerable, but it was still shit. Like honestly, I don't know how they went from let's reboot this. If they'd have just done that one reboot film and not made this a trilogy, it would have worked.
Yeah, it makes me wonder why Jamie Lee Curtis reads these scripts and thinks, "Yeah, I'm back in."
Because she's producing it, so she gets a lot of money for it.
Fuck off! Yeah. Really?
It must be, of course. Yeah. It's payday, isn't it?
It's an easy film for her to make for a role that she's played multiple times.
Yeah, she don't have to slip into character that hard, does she?
Yeah, she gets a producer credit, keeps her name kind of high in the listings, and she makes a fuck ton of money because she'll be paid by residuals.
Yeah.
So
and it's Halloween.
The original Laurie Strode trilogy was 1, 2, and then H2O. And then when they did Resurrections, they tacked her on at the beginning where Michael finally kills her.
Yeah.
1, 2, and H2O is a much better trilogy. If you want to see what happens to Laurie Strode from the first Halloween, watch 2 and H2O. That's better than watching 1, then the 2018 Halloween, Kills and Ends, because just Kills and Ends are terrible films.
Well, you've done us a service, and Us at the
I've done it again.
Escapism officers, we thank you for your services.
I've done it again. I've watched some at crap so you don't have to, just because my curiosity got the better of me. And Kate wanted to watch it, and even she said, "What the fuck was that?" when we finished. She was just like, "That was weird. It just wasn't. What was it? I don't know what they were going for." Just
guarantee next week
when
Candy will come in and she'll have watched it.
She loved it.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they had pathos to like murder us. Stop trying to
But
make
after
them
every
human.
kill by the apprenticeship, did Michael Myers just give a nod?
can I tell you about the end?
That's how you do it.
Yes, tell me about
Yeah,
it.
we're still under the spoiler clocks.
Right. So, right at the end, she finally kills Michael. Like, really, like, kills him. She manages to slit his throat. She then slits his wrists and, like, after she
Chop his head off.
After she stabbed him multiple times. Well, they're fighting in the kitchen, so she just kind of...
All right.
She pins him down and then slits his throat. He's dead. And then the police and all come in and it's like, oh, Michael, she's like, he's finally dead. And the granddaughter's like, not dead enough. So then what they proceed to do is strap his body to the roof of a police car and parade him through the streets of Haddonfield and then throw him into a car crush grinder.
Oh, it's good for the kids to see.
Pretty sure that's not standard operating procedure for the police.
One of the policemen points it out, and the commissioner's just like, he's like, this isn't right. And he's like, the commissioner guy's like, kind of like, tonight it is. Like,
Oh.
Can you imagine the headlines if it was real life?
The FBI finding out.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Internal Affairs will be down there in no time, mate. Telling you now.
It's like, he is 100% dead. You did not need to do that. And I was just, oh man. So
I thought you were
funny.
going to say, and at the very end, his apprentice picks up his mask and puts it on. Bum, bum.
He does do that.
Oh, for fuck's
He
sake.
goes, that's what happens. He steals a mask off Michael, goes around and just
Oh, God.
kills a load of people in quite gruesome and cool ways. But then he kills himself because he's like, because he wanted to run away with Laurie's granddaughter. I can't remember the names. And he says, oh, if I can't have her, no one will. And he kills himself. So when she bursts through the door, it looks like Laurie's killed him because she's like fighting with him. And so she thinks, yeah, it's bullshit. And then she comes back like 5 minutes later to help her anyway. It's awful.
I hope it disintegrates this franchise. I'm done with it.
So I did want to talk about something that was nice and happened this week. So
yes,
can I do that still?
Absolutely.
So I on Wednesday night went to see one of my favorite bands, AlexisOnFire. And it was incredible. And
good job it wasn't windy.
It was indoor, luckily. It was just they were amazing. They were on top form. But for me, personally, what I want to talk about it really was just because it was genuinely for me a night I didn't think I'd ever get to experience. Because when I first got into them, I got into their album and then went back through their back catalogue, and then they split up. So the only time I ever got to see them, the only time I ever got to see them was a short set at Leeds Festival, which doesn't kind of really do it justice.
It's not the same, is it?
Yeah, in the middle of the day on the main stage at Leeds Festival. And then they broke up about like 2011 and after some falling outs and whatnot. And then they finally got back together in 2019. They released a few random singles.
Something happened in between that, so they couldn't tour.
Yeah.
Some unknown thing happened.
But I had tickets to see them in London in 2019 and I didn't go.
Gutted.
And the reason I didn't go was because it was the same night as Liverpool were playing Spurs in the Champions League final.
True fan there, Biggie. Listen to that.
I took a gamble that I thought AlexisOnFire would play again, but I might not ever see Liverpool in the final again.
Yeah.
I mean, I did, like 2 years later.
You did.
Unfortunately, we lost, but still, like, I did get to see Liverpool in the final again. But then, for me, the gamble paid off because AlexisOnFire released a new album this year and they've started a world tour.
Yep.
I'm 36 years old.
Wow.
My neck still hurts from Wednesday night. We're recording this Sunday. My neck still hurts.
You got a bang over?
I was like being 25 years old again in that gig. I was at the front for the whole gig, dancing, moshing, singing, going nuts. I woke up the next day. My neck was killing. My back was hurting. My feet was hurting. By the time I got to bed and put my head on the pillow, my ears were still ringing, but it was fucking amazing and I absolutely loved it. And it was just one of those gigs where after the last few years of absolute shit, I we could just people there. You could tell were just letting go. It was like one of our favorite bands ever is finally back together and touring, and here we all are, and it's absolutely amazing. And the whole place was just nuts, like proper electric. Like, sometimes mainly it's just the front that dance, and then everyone at the back kind of just stands around and just watches. When I finished that gig and walked to the back, like there was people at the back full on sweaty, so people at the back were going crazy as well, and it was just an amazing gig. I just wanted to talk about it because it's something I'd done this week. And even if you're not into their music, if you can, just don't put off going and seeing your favourite bands, because you might never get to see them. There are people that I'll never see because they've passed away, and I got into the music after that. Yeah. So if you have the chance, just go and see your favourite bands. It was so amazing.
I'm off to see Ludovico Einaudi in a few months. I don't think that's going to be the same atmosphere, but still buzzing.
I don't know what they're like.
Classical pianist.
Oh, you at the front moshing.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, man, it was so good, and they're just my kind of people. That band, they're a specific bunch of people in the news right now.
Bunch of people in the late 30s with hoodies on.
No, just the band that they called a certain bunch of people in the news cunts. You know who I'm talking about. Gadget's already mentioned them. Got a big cheer. So it was a nice cherry on top for it.
Excellent.
I don't get into politics on this. I don't get into politics on this show.
I'm glad you don't. And now, because you've mentioned them for such a degree, they get to go on our cover art now. So you'll be happy about that.
Rather them and bloody Halloween Ends.
That's going on as well. Gadget finishes off.
So I've been doing a few things. Most things has been kind of mentioned, so I'll rattle through them quickly. I've got myself incredibly stuck on Cuphead.
Which bit?
The dragon boss with the clouds.
Oh, so hard.
I cannot. That one is such a pain in the dick. I just can't get the final phase of it. There's just so much going on. I can't concentrate enough on it. I've had about 100 attempts on him. He's ridiculous. But I am still enjoying it, and I'm still enjoying playing on the Steam Deck. I've been trying a couple of other games on Steam Deck. I managed to get Stalker going. The old Stalker games.
Really?
Yeah. Immediately, in
awesome.
fact. Like, install it, find a control layout, and just play it. And it just works.
Oh, that's awesome, because Stalker's incredible. If you've never played them games, guys, fucking play them.
No, really good. So I've been enjoying kind of pottering around the zone and getting killed by random gravitational fields, because I'm still shit at it. Because I still play it like I still play it like Fallout.
I was never good at it. Yeah, it's not the same, is it?
No, it's really not.
No.
On Stig's recommendation last week, I picked up Kena Bridge of Spirits, and I really fucking like it.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm playing it on the PS5. I don't know how far I'm into it. I've just. Did you finish it, Stig?
Not yet. No.
I've just got the bow and arrow. So what? 3 hours into it, something like that.
I think it's about 2.
Yeah, but either way,
I bought it as well last week, but I haven't touched it. I haven't touched anything.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's gorgeous on the PS5. The graphics are superb. The sound design is brilliant. The voice acting is lovely. My only complaint with it is that the cutscenes are pre-rendered at 30 frames a second, where the gameplay is at 60. It's very jarring.
Oh wow, yeah, that must mess your eyes up big style.
It does, but otherwise, it's really because Stig was saying it's very Souls-like in its combat. It's pretty much baby's first Soulsborne game. It's not hard, but it's the same kind of combat, and you still get that same, like, you can still kind of abuse iframes and kind of really jump under weapons and stuff like that. So you get some
rolling's better than shielding.
Yeah, and you do have.
You can see where they, like I said, they've taken inspiration, yeah, from those games. Not done exact copy, but you can see where the inspiration's coming from.
Yeah, and it works. And there's little things I've found out that the game doesn't tell you, like you charge up your heavy attack and you can break the shields of the little enemies and stuff like that.
Ooh, that's cool.
So which is a very kind of Bloodborne kind of thing. So I'm really enjoying it. I'll see that through the end, because I don't think it's very long. It's only about 10-15 hours.
Yeah. It's all right for those little games, though.
Yeah,
good.
But
it's not a fully expensive game either.
31 quid on the PS Store, something like that.
Yeah, which is fine in it for 10 hours. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah, not complaining.
I reckon it'll be a plus game one day, so I'll probably play it then.
Yeah, probably will be. But the main thing I did, this one's a really random one. Me and Pip on Friday night, we didn't really know what to watch. We were kind of browsing through Prime, and this popped up, and I'm not sure why. I just pointed out, I says, "Oh, I remember that. That was all right." And she's like, "What's it about?" I told her, and said, "Oh, well, let's have a look." And she ended up enjoying it. Do you remember Oodles back in the early 2010s?
Yes, very well.
When EA were experimental with things before they became the shite bar that they are today.
Yeah, when they were actually trying things.
Yeah, and for some reason, Visceral Games were allowed to make animes of their video games when they got released.
Yes.
So we watched Dante's Inferno, the animated epic.
Do you know what, mate? Before you even continue, I like it.
It's really fucking good.
Yes, yes, it is so good. I remember watching. I got it on DVD with the game. It's so good.
Yeah, it's fucking cracking. So, so the concept is, EA and Visceral Games, the people who made the Dead Space games, after Dead Space 2, in between Dead Space and Dead Space 2, they made a game called Dante's Inferno, where they took the kind of the Inferno part of the Divine Comedy, the classic epic poem from the 13th century,
Dante Alighieri.
Yes, and they made it into a video game very much in the classic God of War style.
Yes,
they did.
Mash circle to open chests.
Yes. They very much took liberties with the story. So, the epic poem does not have Dante going through the 9 circles of hell, killing everything. He's more just explore, and that's more of a political satire of the day.
Or shagging tit monsters.
So, what the release with the animated epic is a retelling of that game, a 90-minute retelling of it. And this is the thing that Visceral did whenever they did these animated versions of things. So they were all the things they did, because they did one for Dead Space, directed by Mike Disa. Which
is good as well.
Yeah, he's good. They got loads of different anime directors to do different chunks of it. So there's like 5 different art styles in it.
Like the Animatrix.
Yeah, like the Animatrix, but just in one film.
Yeah.
It's a little jarring when if you forget that that's happening. The first time the animation style changes. But it's all really well animated. There's a couple of Japanese directors in there and a few Korean ones. It's really beautifully animated for most of it. Unlike there was one of the Dead Space one had a section where it was awfully animated. It was like really horrible CGI.
They did a chromatic one as well, didn't they?
Yeah, but
weird.
Yeah, but this is really beautiful. The really good voice acting cast as well. So Dante is played by Graham McTavish, who most people would recognize right now as the Lord Commander in House of the Dragon. Basically, guy with a really lovely fucking beard. Yeah. Mark Hamill plays Dante's father in it. This was before the Mark Hamill Renaissance, but you can hear it immediately. Vanessa Branch plays Beatrice. Peter Jessup plays Virgil. So there's kind of a load of classic kind of voice actors in there. And yeah, it's just a really fucking good time. So it's retelling the game. So Dante comes back from the Crusades, because he's a crusader in this, not an Italian poet. Comes back from the Crusades to find his entire family killed and his dearly beloved Beatrice being whisked away by Satan.
He's known for that, and he's a bugger.
Well, yeah, and Dante then has to confront his sins, because Dante thinks he's a very good Christian, but also believes that everything that he did in the Crusades was absolved because the priest at the church told him so, that God forgives them for what they've done because they were acting in the name of God.
Go kill Saladin. Go kill all those poor people that don't believe in Christianity. You're fine.
Yeah. It's unclear why Satan in particular decided to pick on Beatrice and take her, because
she was fit.
Well, Dante wasn't the only one who was murdering people, but anyway. So Dante, in a fit of pure anger, breaks his way into hell to go and rescue her. And as he goes through the 9 circles, he has to confront the things he's done and the horrible shit. And it's really good. It's a massive send-up of Catholicism, like the whole concept of it. Visually, it's stunning. They do hold, because it's an anime, they do hold back on a few things that the game did. Like, for instance, in the Circle of Hell for Lust, the tower where you fight the boss is a giant dick. That's not shown in this.
Which is a shame.
No. But there are lots of tits, there are lots of violence, huge amounts of blood, lots of things being chopped in half or torn apart. And yeah, it's really good. It's on Amazon Prime. It's like 88 minutes long. It's not the longest thing you'll ever watch. It's really silly, over the top, incredibly violent. And it does that really silly thing that animes do, where just everything just has to look cool. Like, for instance, in the opening section where the mountain lions are attacking Dante, which is a thing from the poem, he's on horseback, and the horse does a backflip with Dante on the back so he can like spear at these.
You never seen
these
that
wolves.
at Grand National?
No, I haven't seen the horse parkour before.
It's incredible.
But yeah, it's actually for what it is. It's pretty good. It's definitely better than the second Dead Space film.
Yeah,
which
I do like how Dante became. I mean, not to get political, but it became a bit of a BNP poster boy because he stitched the St. George's cross onto his chest.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I'm like, he's one of us. I'm like, he's not. He's not one of you. He's not.
Yeah, he's really not.
Is the soundtrack metal based?
There is some metal in the soundtrack, yes.
In the games, though, it was more orchestral, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But that's the thing as well. There's a lot of iconography that you'll see at very far right rallies because Dante is effectively a Knights Templar, and he's a big muscle bound guy with a cross stitched across his chest, which is supposed to be a tapestry of his sins. That's how the game presents it. The film doesn't really do that much to explain why he has this cross sewn into his skin.
It's penance, isn't it? It's
cool.
penance.
It does.
He's doing it for penance.
It does look cool, but yeah, it got a little bit BMP. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's a thing of its time. It's 12 years old. But it's worth watching if you get bored for an hour and a half.
The game's worth playing as well.
The game's good, and you can still play it on Series X and Series S. It's on. It's if you got Game Pass, it's on that EA Play thing.
Yeah, it's a refreshingly good game, actually, even for its time.
Yeah, well, I mean, what more do you want? You've got a giant scythe made of the bones of something, and you're just stabbing nerds in the head with it. What more do you want?
Isn't the scythe like the bone of Karen the boatman or something like that?
It is. Yeah, it's a spine.
It's a spine.
Karen the boatman, who is a literal boat.
Yeah, he's a boat.
He's the original Booty McBootface.
He is.
He's a boat with a face.
That's literally what I was thinking of when you talked before you said that.
Excellent. We have thoroughly scoured the depths, the 9 circles of the Nexus, and we are going to move it into our main topic. So, on to the main feature. So, for our second patron poll episode, wow, we've done 2 already. We had the patrons decide and vote on 4 different topics. The first one was favourite horror comedy. The second was favourite franchise. The next was create a horror based on a beloved character. And the other one was monster of the week. So, we're just counting them in now. Oh, God. Oh, this is close. So, this week, the patrons have decided that we will be slotting well-known characters from media into horror scenarios. Think Adam Sandler's Mr. Deeds in a trilogy of films called The Necrophile Chronicles, something like that. I'm joking, of course, but you catch my drift. So we're going to do...
I want to hear that now.
Where did that come from?
So it's abuse Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Imagine.
Very much in the style of the new Winnie the Pooh, isn't it? That's what we're going for.
Very much inspired by that. So, judging from... I don't know what you guys are doing because, again, I don't scroll up. So I want to know, what's Stig's doing? What are you doing, man?
Okay. Over the hills, far away.
Uh-oh.
Teletubbies come to murder. Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, Po. The Teletubbies say, "Give me your soul."
Yes.
So my horror concept is taking the Teletubbies, who are already absolutely terrifying anyway when you look at them. But these 7 to 10 foot demonic creatures, they came down from another planet.
7 to 10 foot.
They are. If you look
they're
at
massive, aren't they?
Yeah, if you look at the them in the suits against a regular person, they're fucking massive. So they landed their spaceship on planet Earth. They've claimed this land. They're now called the Teletubby Land. The Tubbytronic Superdome is their spaceship. It's buried in the ground to look like their home. But in order to blend in and feed, they pass themselves off as children's TV characters, inviting unsuspecting families to their shows where they're never seen again. So, all seems hunky-dory in Teletubby Land, but once the cameras are off, things take a drastic turn. The skies darken, the baby sun it changes its demeanor, it becomes angry, and it begins to heat up the place to unbearable heats. The Teletubbies shred their masks to reveal horrible, revolting faces underneath. Big spiked teeth, huge holes where their eyes are, and Tinky Winky's face is just a big, massive mouth. There's nothing there.
That's awful. That's awful.
The rabbits that are wandering around the hillsides, they turn inside out and just are hopping around as bags of meat. The voice trumpets, they strip their exterior and change into like H.R. Geiger-esque phalluses with their heads no longer like watering can heads. They're just mouths with teeth and tongues hanging out, and they make horrible screeching noises.
Oh.
But that's all the in-between stuff, because in my Teletubbies horror film, the real meat of the horror is what happens in the Tubby TVs. Where the trapped families, the families that are trapped in the Teletubby land, they're treated to horror experience anthology short stories, sometimes involving themselves. They might get sucked into the tummy. They might, when you see in a horror film where someone's watching a TV and all of a sudden it zooms into them and then they're in the TV, they're in what they're watching. Imagine that. So they're watching this horrible thing going on inside the Teletubby TV, tummy TVs, and then they're in that. Yeah,
horrifying.
So that all happens. We have all these anthologies. We're gonna have about 4 or 5 anthologies, different things, like kind of a cube one and a stalker thing, and horrible monster shit going on. But in between all that, we're gonna have a bit of blood and guts and gore from the Teletubbies. So Dipsy, Lala, and Po, they morph into these 4-legged creatures, and their little head prongs that they have turn into like weird spiky murder weapons. And then they use that to gore and tear apart their prey. All while shouting, again, again, again!
This is fucking dark.
The night ends. When the night ends and we've had our horror anthology, Tinky Winky lays on his back and lets out an almighty guttural scream as a Lovecraftian monster crawls from out of his belly and rounds up the rest of the humans and drags them inside Tinky Winky's stomach. Then the grey clouds start to clear, the sun turns happy, Nuck starts to clear up, and everything goes back to normal. It's just as though nothing had ever happened. So the Teletubbies, we all know that they eat tubby custard, right?
Oh no!
That's one of the things that they eat. Tubby
I've
custard.
had it myself. It's delicious.
Yeah. Well, tubby custard here is actually processed meat, blood, and bones of their victims.
I'm not into that.
And the tubby toast is the flayed skin of humans. So this is the things that Nunu.
This has gone up Clive Barker really fast.
Nunu, the vacuum cleaner, he goes around, it sucks up all the blood and guts, and it turns it into the tubby custard. And that's why if you look up a picture of Nunu, it's got a very shocked eyes on its face because it's seen the horror, and it always gets told off, and it never wants to be called Naughty Nunu, which we know obviously means it's going to get a beating from the Teletubbies. So that's my horror franchise. That's my horror concept.
You fucking scared me. It's good. It's good. And the thing is, when you use things like that, like they're doing with Winnie the Pooh, it's gonna people like, oh, brilliant new Teletubby. Oh my god.
They are doing a new Teletubbies thing at the minute.
Yeah.
Well, Stig's already got his The Mummy script bought, hasn't he? So maybe they'll buy this as well. Friday. Yeah, brilliant
horrible Teletubbies.
Bang God. Into that. I'm gonna go next. I've written the synopsis down from start to finish. It won't take long. Please strap in and enjoy. The film is called Paddington vs. Postman Pat Requiem. Get ready. Get ready. Pat Clifton has worked for the Royal Mail Greendale branch near Kendal for 45 years and is due for retirement. However, during a union-sanctioned postal strike, a bear from darkest Peru named Paddington is left in his air-mailed cage in the Kendal Royal Mail depot over the weekend. Fuck. Pat and the other postal workers enjoyed a great day of picketing for a wage increase when the postmaster sent him a WhatsApp voicemail. Pat, fucking hell, man. You and the lads need to get back to the depot sharpish. Because he's kind of a Geordie, but not kind of. I'm trying to do a Geordie accent then.
Fair enough.
Postman Smash Pat's Welsh.
No, that's Fireman Sam's Welsh.
Oh, it's Fireman Sam, isn't it? Yeah, damn it.
It's from Cumbria, Postman Pat. Smash cut to the lads at the depot, and they're told that Keith, the security guard, has been brutally mauled by a large dog or something. They don't know. The lads strap up like postal marines and go in search for the killer. So think aliens with the strapping up. One by one, each of them are taken out in a tense and frightening way. Glimpses of a blood-soaked beast brushing past the camera. Clive is eviscerated. Barry has his arm bitten off and dies from trauma and blood loss. But in his dying breath, he utters the words, "No marmalade." Pat is the last surviving postman. And he has one bullet left. The lights are flickering and he finally sees the beast. And just as he's about to shoot, the beast stands on its hind legs and says, "Hello there." Then the twist of the movie happens. The movie fades to black and we see Paddington waving off his family and getting on a plane. He's having a bad day because the pilot forces him into a cage. Then when he reaches England, he's transported to Cumbria due to a postal strike. He's sat in the depot whimpering and shouting for help. Keith, the security guard, is a right bastard and pokes at him and knocks him about a bit. In a rage, Paddington kills Keith and is assaulted by 3 other postal workers due to hunger, anger and animal instincts. He eviscerates one of the postmen, bites the arm off the other, and when he's calmed down, the last postman cocks his gun and Paddington turns around and says, "Hello there." Then we get back to the perspective. You know what I mean? I'm getting perspective switches. This is good shit. Paddington is shot in the shoulder and hunted by the postman. Pat shot the beast and is hunted by the bear. Do you know what I mean? We're getting... this is fucking good shit. You get the picture. So it leads to a harrowing and haunting showdown between these new adversaries. The horror comes from the tension, like Alien and The Thing, and has brutal imagery and dialogue like a Tarantino film. The film ends with Paddington sinking his teeth into Pat's neck. But there's a twist. Paddington didn't realise he was leaving Peru due to a new viral outbreak. And the rage he had was not from any hunger or anything. He had a mad bear disease. Pat stands back up and he's a zombie. The other postmen stumble into view and the bear looks at the camera and says, "Fuck." And then credits. Paddington will return in World War P. So,
what happened to Jess?
She's not in this one. She's in the next one.
All right.
So, because they're on strike, so Jess is at home. And it's a postal strike. That's the backdrop of it all. So the cast. Paddington will be played by Daniel Day-Lewis.
Of course.
Just voice, obviously. Postman Pat will be played by Charles Dance. I needed an older actor. You know what I mean? Someone that with a bit of gravitas. Keith, the security guard, will be played by Tom Felton because he was a twat in Planet of the Apes. And he's the one that's poking Paddington about. Postman Barry will be played by Walton Goggins because I want him in every film ever.
Absolutely.
And Postman Clive will be played by Stephen Graham. It's directed by James Wan. It's directed by James Wan of Saw fame, so you get the picture. But yeah, that's what I've thought. But Paddington versus Postman Pat Requiem. I don't know why I called it Requiem. I just think it's funny.
I would say you've called it Requiem, which by the standard means it's going to be shite. Yeah,
it's going to be shite. It's going to be really shite. But I just like the twist where it's from both perspectives. It's going to be good. It's frightening. It's horrible.
I think you should stick to Paddington being played by Ben Whishaw because he's nice, friendly, like voice, but actually is a fucking raging bear.
Yeah, that would be. No, I just want Daniel Day-Lewis in it as well because he'll put his all into just the voice.
He should be Jess.
He'll method act for weeks.
He could be Jess, but actually dressed up as the cat.
Yeah. I think you need to expand it because like the Aliens versus Predator films, everything was from the perspective of the humans, and you had the aliens and the predators around causing chaos around the side. I think you need to have a third faction in it.
A third faction, okay. Are we talking like Danger Mouse, something like that?
No. Stick mentioned it. Bit of Fireman Sam.
Fireman Sam, he has to come in.
Oh yeah.
Or
because shit's kicking off.
Or Trumpton.
Windy Miller.
Have to fix it.
Trumpton.
Yeah.
Trumpton, the whole town.
Yeah. Or the whole town gets murdered.
They've had to bring Fireman Sam in to deliver the mail for whatever reason. For reasons.
Like I said, on the sequel, World War P, obviously zombies are happening now, and there's Noddy's involved, all the classics.
Man.
Mr. Ben's there, kicking
Bob
off.
the Builder.
Bob the Builder's not there. It's classics, mate, not shit ones. I like Bob the Builder.
Zombie back
Bob the Builder.
Wow.
He's not even unionised, Bob the Builder. He's a cowboy, mate. He's a fucking cowboy.
Backhanders.
He might be on Checker Trade.
He's not on checkertrade.com.
Oh man,
he's
getting
Just
paid
gets
for
all
his
his vehicles
vehicles.
done, doesn't he? He's fucking useless.
Yeah. He gets paid cash in hand. He's a dodgy. He's not even paying taxes.
He's got sentient vehicles. It's slave labour.
Exactly. This is what I want. I wanted like
It could do Bob the Builder where he just gets all his vehicles to murder people.
Yeah. I just wanted the backdrop of the postal strikes to be kind of a play on the fact that humanity's going to shit, and then the zombies come, and they're all postmen originally, And yeah, it's just going to go from there on. And I think World War P is going to be just as good as the first, but I haven't written the synopsis for that yet. But it's work in progress.
I love that your standard for humanity going to shit is the post isn't getting delivered.
It's because this week something didn't get delivered and I'm fuming.
That's why he's had nothing to do this week. He sat there waiting for a game to turn up.
How did you know? But yeah, fuming. Absolutely fuming. But yeah, Paddington vs. Pokemon Pack Requiem. Bring it on. Gadget.
Okay. So we're going to open on just a camera shot going across an old kind of northern British town. Passing signs that say Wigan as it goes past.
Oh, Wigan.
It's dark. There's lightning in the background. Tense music going, but you know that creepy child singing voice that they put in a lot of horror films.
La 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 la.
Yeah.
La.
So you get a la 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 la. In the background.
No.
As we focus on a house and we see a silhouette in the window of a knife come up and go down and a woman scream.
Wow.
In the morning, Wallace wakes up with his normal contraption that Gromit has set off. That sets him down in the morning. Toast flies up. Jam hits it, lands on the fan. Cracking toast, Gromit. And he complains that the date he had last night wasn't particularly good.
Oh.
And he goes off to tinker with his equipment. Later on that day, him and Gromit start having cheese, as is their wont.
Yeah.
And he mentions that Gromit shouldn't wait up. He's going out again tonight. He's been on the Tinders and he's meeting women.
Cracking breast, Gromit.
So we get the nighttime in
cracking bit of cash.
Whoa! Too far! Don't turn my joke into filth. How dare you? You have no authority here.
Oh man, I fucking completely lost my train of thought now. So
it's pulled.
Well, so Wallace goes out on his date. Gromit is just doing a bit of work, cleaning up in the in their workshop. Notices that there's a couple of knives missing, but he doesn't think too much about it. Next morning, Wallace wakes up. He's looking a bit more tired than usual.
Oh,
but he has his breakfast, complains again about the date. Some time passes, a couple of days maybe. The pattern's kind of repeating, so Gromit, on the next time Wallace goes out, decides to follow him.
Fuck.
He kind of he spies on through the restaurant. Wallace is with a woman that looks a little bit like Gwendoline from A Close Shave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Gromit follows them back.
He's got a taste, hasn't he? He's got a taste.
They're going back to the woman's house. Gromit is very suspicious about things because Wallace is not the kind of guy to stay out on a first date. So he kind of shimmies up the drain pipe and peers through as he watches as Wallace is stabbing this woman to death. Blood is everywhere. It's also claymation blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's best blood.
Gromit, absolutely terrified, sprints home, rings the police, but he's a dog, he can't talk, so no one comes.
He can't talk.
The next morning, Gromit confronts Wallace. Wallace says, "Oh no, lad, you're dreaming. It's a nightmare." He just kind of brushes him off. Just says it's silly. I went out on a date and I came home.
Does he do some mimery to show him what he thinks he's doing?
Yeah, of course. He's got that perplexed look where his entire forehead flap goes right up.
Yeah.
Wallace Gromit takes the opportunity to go through Wallace's phone and starts looking through and sees all the women that Wallace has been seeing look a little bit like Gwendoline. The years of loneliness have twisted Wallace. The one woman who showed him any love, Gwendoline, rejected him because of her psychotic robot dog. And she didn't like cheese, remember?
She didn't.
Gromit follows Wallace on another date and intervenes before he can kill the poor woman, causing a fight and a stalk through the house that ends up with Gromit running home and being chased by Wallace. For some reason, the train set thing happens again, but this time in a much darker fashion. I just want the train set thing to happen again.
Yeah, putting the tracks down.
Yeah. Until Gromit breaks through a hidden wall that reveals into a second workshop that Wallace has built. And inside There are the body parts from these women. He is making a Wendoline.
Ooh.
Oh my word!
Wallace has gone full bloodlust. He has gone absolutely
Like
mad.
Tusk.
He tries to kill Gromit. Gromit manages to wrestle him to the ground. We get a full-on fist fight, which is resolved with Gromit picking up the knife and stabbing Wallace, killing him dead. Gromit, tears in his eyes, pours petrol in throughout the whole house. Looks back at his friend, sets fire to it, and walks off into the distance, scarred, alone, and without his master. But he's alive.
Very good.
Shit.
Very good.
Do you know what would make that film better?
What?
Is when Wallace is peeking through the window, when Gromit's peeking through the window, Wallace is playing Huey Lewis and the News and explaining why that's the best album. Because it sounds like American Psycho.
It's a little bit American Psycho, I'll admit.
The penguin pull Wallace out of the burning.
Oh yeah, he's actually a Goodie.
Oh
now.
yeah. Let's have a post-credit scene with Feathers McGraw pulling Wallace out.
Oh yeah,
Feathers McGraw controlling the wrong trousers that are pulling Wallace out of the fire.
And the villains have got together.
Why not?
Oh shit!
But just
That's dark.
Just imagine
what are you going to call it?
You see, this is the bit I've been really struggling with because the Wallace and Gromit titles have always got some kind of pun to it. And I'm not good at thinking of puns like that. It's been really driving me mental.
Wallace and Gromit, a cracking stab. I don't know.
Stab in the dark.
Stab in the dark. You've done
There
it.
we go. Excellent stick. We'll have that. Wallace and Gromit, the stab in the dark. Which is, I mean, bear in mind, this is all going to be in claymation, animated by Nick Park.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yes,
the fucking
daddy.
look at the psychotic level of kind of blood over Wallace's face as he's running with a kitchen knife trying to kill Gromit. It's going to be absolutely scarring.
I want to see the claymation Ed Gein dungeon that Wallace has got.
Exactly. Just fucking body parts hanging around. He's mixing and matching to make the perfect Wendoline.
That's fucked up, man. I'm banging to it. It's got to be like Nick Park and Guillermo del Toro collaborating or something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be dark as shit. It's yeah.
Fucking banging to that.
Quite happy with that one. As soon as it came through, it says, "Yeah, we're doing this one." I was just like, I have to do Wallace and Gromit. There's no way you can't.
But it's quite Hitchcockian as well. You know what I mean? It's got
a little bit of Rear Window
vibes
to
from,
it.
Yeah, and Psycho and stuff. Oh, bang into that. Really into it. Biggie, you've got to follow that.
Oh, hang on. Before Biggie starts, I also make sure it's a tight 85 minutes.
Oh,
got to be a short one. Can't drag that one out too long.
You can watch it every Christmas.
Exactly. As is tradition, you have to watch every Wallace and Gromit every Christmas.
I watch them all.
Hey, Gran, come and sit and watch this new Wallace and Gromit with me.
Stab in the Dark, it's called. You've not seen this one. It's good. Oh. Go on, Biggie.
Okay. Strap yourselves in.
I'm
Is it
strapped
Lethal
in.
Weapon?
My movie choice is the animated. What was that?
Is it Lethal Weapon?
I should have done that. This is Peanuts, a Charlie Brown massacre.
Fucking hell, the kids, man.
It was just another day for Charlie Brown. Waking up miserable as if a black cloud was hanging over his head, Charlie got ready for school. He knocked his cereal over his comic. He was just as he was reading it at the table. He's furious. He went over to see Snoopy just to give him a scratch behind the ears, but even Snoopy turned around and just growled and barked at him. So Charlie left the house and tripped over his laces, bumped his head on the sidewalk. Picking himself up off the ground, rubbing the bump on his head, he saw his friend Linus come by, and they walked together. Charlie bemoaned about how bad his day was already going, and Linus said in his usual insightful way that it was probably just going to get worse before it got better. Charlie spots Pigpen ahead of him and tries to avoid him, but it's too late. Pigpen runs over to chat with his friends, but as soon as the dust and dirt and flies are now all over Charlie Brown as well, Charlie Brown is furious and runs off around the corner to spot Lucy playing with her friends, Patty and Violet, with a football. Lucy sees Charlie come in and sets him up for the infamous kick. Charlie Brown knows he shouldn't, and he can't resist the kick or bear to hear the goading from the girls. Charlie Brown runs and swings, but as always at the last minute, she pulls the football away. And Charlie Brown goes arse over tit and lands once more on the ground, but hitting his head once more, adding further damage to the previous injury. Feeling giddy and nauseous and his pride taking a hit, he staggers into school and sits down in class. and Charlie Brown can't take the noise in the classroom as his head is throbbing. As Schroeder is tinkering away at his
worried
piano,
where this is going.
the kids are nattering away, laughing and goading him. And even the teacher's voice just sounds like a warble of noise. Wah, 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 wah. Whilst his head is pounding, until the incomprehensible words from the teacher start sounding different. Kill them all, kill them all, kill them all. The years of abuse have turned Charlie Brown mad. It's all that he can take as he launches himself at Schroeder, slams the lid shut on his piano as the fingers come sliced off, blood spraying everywhere. Charlie Brown stands there, panting away with rage, and searches around for his next victim. The kids run off screaming. There's blood everywhere. Charlie Brown grabs Violet, throws her into the wall, face first, smashing her glasses into her eyes. She staggers around blindly as he then throws her out of the window to her death. He chases Pigpen out of the room, follows him into the gym, manages to corner him and blind him with some deodorant nearby. Pulling Pigpen into the showers and bars, he drowns PP, shoving his face into a shower head and turning the water full on. He then spots Linus hiding in the gym, and after an intense fight between the two of them, Linus is knocked out, and Charlie Brown decides to hang him by the climbing bars in the gym using his famous blanket.
Jeez.
Charlie Brown continues his rampage throughout the school until his only nemesis is left, Lucy. He finds Lucy outside in the football field, confidently waiting for Charlie Brown, football at the ready. But she holds a knife behind her back, ready to plunge into the mad Charlie Brown when he lands. Charlie Brown once more cannot resist the urge to go for the goal and runs up and takes the kick. Except this time, he's attached a knife to his shoe and he promptly decapitates and boots Lucy's head into the air.
Christ.
Charlie Brown jumps for joy and decides to head home as he's now had enough. Snoopy fears something has gone wrong with his master and he sees Charlie Brown and scarpers off down the road, yelping away. Then all of a sudden, Woodstock floats down from the nearest tree and lands on Charlie Brown's head, leans down and gives him a little quick kiss on his head. Charlie Brown has the biggest smile on his face, the blood-spattered face. The next thing we see is Charlie Brown sitting down for dinner, what appears to be a roasted Woodstock on his plate. Charlie Brown says to himself, "Today has actually turned out fine for once," as the noise of the sirens get louder as the police cars drive up to the house. The end.
Fucking hell, mate, that's dark.
They're children.
It could have gone darker. I was
He's
shitting
a child.
When you were
He's
saying you
gone
can bleep this
mad.
out, when he's going into school and he's going to kill his classmates, I thought, fucking, it's like Columbine, but Charlie Brown.
That's which one
Charlie
it is.
Brown has
Hell.
lost it. He's finally lost it.
This is dark,
After
mate.
all the
That's dark
years,
shit.
after all the years of abuse he's had.
Does he?
That film's
That's
getting
it.
banned.
I was going to say,
I'm not surprised.
does he change his black and yellow striped T-shirt for a Marilyn Manson T-shirt or something?
Yeah, it's fucking dark, that, man.
Well, it's not yellow anymore after all of that.
That's too real that's true to life, and I'm comfortable with.
I will
haunting.
point out that kids did die in my one as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Adults weren't there to watch Teletubbies.
No, it's when kids go to school to kill other kids. That's where I kind of draw the line. It's fucked up. You got a fucked up mind, mate.
Fucking hell.
Content is king, as always. Speaking of which, do we have any feedback? My dark and twisted listeners.
Yeah, we do. We have a couple. So Nimrod Hicks has said, Sir David Attenborough finally snaps, whispers to a single butterfly, and within hours, the animals turn against us. It's a slaughter.
Oh god, we'd be fucked. We'd be absolutely fucked.
Xenos has
He's the
suggested
patron
that
saint of animals.
Xenos has suggested that film be called All Creatures Great and Small.
Yes. Yes.
Xenos himself has said, Thomas the Tank Engine goes off the rails. A sapient train decides it's sick of being constrained to the path set out by the meatbags and proceeds to stalk the railway executives across the land of Sodor by any route it chooses.
Ooh, imagine that.
If you look up on Google Evil Thomas the Tank Engine, there is a horrendous Thomas the Tank Engine where he's got like 8 legs and this big fuck off neck. It's like it's it's awful, like a big tarantula looking Thomas the Tank Engine.
There's also, if you look up
Nightmare Fuel.
Geordie Thomas the Tank Engine, they've just dubbed over a full episode of Thomas the Tank Engine.
That's great.
Just sweary Geordie, man. It's so good.
Someone modded Thomas into Resident Evil 2, didn't they, for Mr. X?
Yeah, the jump scares are fucking terrifying.
So all you can hear in the background is like really faintly just do, 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 do,
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, then you open the door and it's his massive fucking face.
That's haunting enough, isn't it? Fuck.
It's terrifying. And Planty has sent us in a small essay on this one.
Oh, he's back, is he?
He said he's back from his holidays. He's been on his holidays.
Yeah, he's top off on boats.
I know, right? Filth.
Like a Duran Duran video.
I said it wasn't quite like Wolf of Wall Street.
I will not die sober.
His name is Planty and he's drinking in the sun. So he said, nice Yorkshire accent needed for this one. Fuck that, I can't do a proper Yorkshire accent. I could do it Lancashire, but that would ruin everything.
Yes, it would.
So he said, people in sleepy Yorkshire town hadn't been rate for a few days now. I'm reading as written. Bloodlust were what folk were calling it.
If only we had 2 Yorkshire people on the show.
An inhumane desire to mutilate and harm other residents and tourists. Not that slack-jawed Southerners didn't have it coming, of course, but their money were as good as anyone's.
Yes, fucking get it.
The cobbled streets ran red. There was barely enough grip for the tub's wheels to stay on the ground as the 2 lifelong friends careened towards the high street, around corpses of fat Americans who grew up on huge video cameras and Betty's fat rascals had long since been exhausted, as well as a bus of blue rinse-adorned pensioners with their throats ripped out. As the pair rounded the corner, the cafe loomed into view. The driver grabbed the handbrake, causing the makeshift mode of transport to sharply come to a halt and for him to nearly lose his cloth cap. Blimey, he flustered, exulted. The once bustling little eatery was dark, smashed windows and a door barely on its hinges. Wielding their sharpened walking sticks, makeshift weapons they'd used more than once to a sickening finality up in the hills earlier that day, the 2 men motioned towards the entrance. Steady now, mumbled the smaller mustachioed gent to himself. Remember these training from war? Within the darkened cafe...
Your accent's terrible.
I never said it was good. Within the darkened cafe, among splintered chairs, tables and smashed counter was the outline of a small, scruffy man, dressed in clothes that could not even charitably be called third-hand, and a woolly old hat stained with blood and visceral matter, groaning and grumbling and scraping at a dark, bloody-looking sludge from inside an oversized mug. As the pair walked slowly towards the man, a crack from a loose floorboard alerted him to their presence, and his head jerked up in the direction of the newcomers. Like a wild animal, eyes dark and full, a face of beastly intent, a screech emanated from his foul mouth. With a swift movement which belayed his age, the taller of the 2 friends stepped forward and forced the whittled end of the stick into the beast's eye and quickly retracted. The foul creature's body dropped from the table, his head in a saucer of blood and spit as life slurped and gurgled out of him. I always said he should have looked after himself better, the more jolly of the pair remarked, a gallows smile merely flicking across the edges of his mouth as he observed the dying creature. At that very moment there was a crash from the kitchen and the looming hulk of what was once the cafe's owner lunged through the door. A resigned sigh came from Foggy. I guess we'll have to finally discover what Ivy's been putting in the pies, Clegg. So it's last of the summer wine.
Yep.
I know. I know what it is.
Fucking hell, Planty.
Genius. Absolutely genius.
I come from there.
Wow.
I said that to him when you sent me this. I come from where Last of Summer Wine's made, yeah.
Where is it, Keighley or somewhere like that?
No, it's well, we lived near Upper Thong, so it's down Humfirth.
Holmfirth, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Holmfirth with the hills.
Yeah, there's an
Nice,
episode
it's nice,
where he
Holmfirth.
walks across the school I used to go to, like he falls off the wall.
Oh, right. That's a good show. Good show. Good horror take, though. Bang into that. Is that all the feedback we've got?
Yeah, that's all the feedback we got. But just, the one thing I'll add is just based on that, and I don't know why I thought of it. It just might have been just like attempting the accent. I did think of another thing that we could do as a horror thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Brum?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
little car.
The little car. Imagine that going on a killing spree.
He's
Like
tiny, though.
Christine.
You could punt him.
Like Christine in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christine.
Christine on a
but with
small
Brum.
scale in Birmingham.
Next to the canals.
lack of feedback from our 5th member. Disappointing.
I know, right? The one
Yeah,
that
well.
loves the horror shit.
Slacker.
I mean, she was sacrificed to a god of flesh and pleasure. So, not her fault. She's dead. But yes. As always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. And please consider becoming a patron to help support our endeavour. Next week, we are finally starting our 80s month. I'm so pumped for this.
Woo!
So think about flares. No, that's 70s, isn't it? Think about
Shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads,
cocaine,
mullets, lots of cocaine.
Bright colours, synth.
Synths, yeah. Oh,
Duran Duran.
So
racist comedy.
The music. Spandau Ballet.
Weekend at Bernie.
The last time
It's
Biggie
just-
had hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last time Gadget had hair as well. No, you had hair in the early 90s, didn't you?
I did.
So yeah, when most of us, apart from Biggie, were born. So he was born in the 1880s.
Hey!
So yes, look forward to the extravagance, and it's going to be. If you check out our website, you'll see what the actual order of things we're going to chat about. What's the word I'm looking for?
Features.
The features. That's the one. Thank you. 80s. I'm going to do rails off the desk. I'm telling you now. I'm not really. I'm joking.
Just sort of another horror trope where a beloved podcaster goes mental after being suffering the jokes of ageism and decides to kill his fellow podcasters around the country.
I mean, it'd be less
Despicable
problematic than
ways.
Charlie Brown's Columbine.
I really want to put that as the episode title, but I know I can't.
We can't. We can't. Bowling for Charlie Brown. But yes, if you're not a patron, this is where this saga ends, and we will see you next week. But for everyone else that is a patron, we'll meet you in the green room very shortly. Good night.
Very well.
Wah, 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 wah.
Just realised I've got all these stickers for my daughter still on me.
Looks good. You've been a good girl, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.